Hello and welcome to SOVL. SOVL is a turn-based strategy game featuring Warhammer Fantasy Battle-esque style simulator and a roguelike at that, so quite difficult. SOVL doesn't come with a tutorial, so what we'll be doing is we're playing a maximum difficulty run and we'll explain all the game's mechanics and try and clearly outline how to best the game in as straightforward a way as possible. Now, as you've seen from the title and thumbnail, we're playing as the Elven Conclaves, specifically the Elven Mage. The previous one we did focused heavily, if not entirely, on melee combat, so getting up to the enemy and engaging them in brutal fisticuffs. This time around, we're playing as the Elegant Elves. We're going to be shooting them at safe range with bows and arrows. No need to muddy the waters and risk hurting ourselves when we can kill the enemy at our leisure. That's how we'll be playing it. Okay, we come to the most important decision we'll make throughout the campaign, our starting two units. Now, the Elf Mage comes with a unit of Elf Archers, which is fantastic. It's a good start to our ranged-themed army. So we're going to pick a unit to supplement, and of course, between these three, the Spears and the Chariots are melee-based, so we'll take the Elf City Guard. The City Guard are a remarkable unit in that they're effectively a double whammy of you get a melee unit and sword, spear and shield, but then you also get a highly competent ranged unit, so they're longbow. So we'll be using them predominantly in their range capacity. And oh, look, would you vote? We'll have another unit of City Guard. So there you go, we've got our hybrid army. That's not particularly hybrid because we'll be using it entirely in a ranged capacity. Act 1. So here's our campaign map for SOVL. Our objective is to move through left to right, so we make our way through these stopping points, eventually getting over to the boss on this side. I'll kind of quickly go over the legend here and what we're dealing with. So as you go through, you can face battles, in which case your army faces against the enemy army in exchange for experience and gold, at the potential risk of sustaining casualties. Why do you want gold? Well, you can spend them in the shops. These little anvil signs here are armories. You can use them to buy new units for your army or improve the ones you already have. Alternatively, you can visit random events. Difficult to describe in advance what a random event is like, but it could be any number of things. So a forgotten tomb with treasure inside that you can send men in, the risk of them not coming back, or a swarm of monsters you can defeat, or mercenaries to hire, things like that. We'll go through a couple of them as we go through the campaign for a bit of variety. Elite battles are these swords down, which are the equivalent of standard battles but harder in exchange for more gold. And last but not least are these rests, these campsites. So instead of, unlike a battle, you don't face an enemy army. Rather, everyone in your army immediately gets a round of healing, and you can take a choice of either a point of experience or yet even more healing. Typically, however, you want to avoid attending these because you don't get gold for them, whereas you would get gold from everything else. So you'd only really want a campsite if you're badly losing, you need replenishment. So let's try and game out how we get left to right while avoiding any of these and taking as many fights as possible. Well, just having a look, you could in theory squeak by both of them by coming up here. You know, 2 fights, an elite, a third and a fourth, so you can try and now, or you can go down the bottom and you'll get 1, 2, 3, 4 fights and elites. So it's exactly the same. You get 3 random events and 1, 2, 3 random events. It's identical. Would we be better off going through one of these then? So we get 1, 2, an elite, 3, 4. So also the same, but there's a campsite as opposed to a random event. Well, the campsite's, I suppose, slightly better guaranteed value than the random event because you get XP, but we avoid random events a lot throughout this campaign. So let's go with a high random event path this time. Let's take all 3 of them and put ourselves on the straight line. Here's our army. Very uniform there. The Elf Mage, Callion Star Whisperer, and his accompanying Elf Archers here, his arrows, and the Sun-Wield Shields, Elf City Guard, and the Everstar Wardens, more City Guard. So they immediately start with, I was about to say 30 archers, 29 plus the mage, kind of letting us down there. That's what we'll roll into our first battle with, against the roaming brigands. The enemy also has archers, cultured men, as cultured as men can be, unsophisticated Neanderthals that they are. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put myself in terrain. I think we can anticipate where the enemy's going to deploy. The archers will likely be here. They had to choose, so they'll probably end up coming forward. So what we'd like to do is put ourselves into cover because the enemy can't really handle shooting at us if I do. They might be there in theory, so I'll just kind of hide myself there. No, they are back there, we can't guess that right. So our priority, of course, is to kill the archers as fast as possible. They're far more threatening. Now, the most important 2 keys in SOVL you'll play with are the X key and the C key. So the X key will give away your charge radius, this blue zone. If there's any enemies in this at the end of the combat phase, start of the charge phase, you can declare a charge on them. we won't be doing that a lot throughout this campaign. We're going to be too busy shooting things to death. The other key, which I suppose is more important for our purposes, is the C key. It reveals enemy charge radius. So if you're within this blue zone at the end of the combat phase, they'll be able to charge you next turn. We want to stay out of the way as much as we possibly can, so we'll stay away. The other thing you could do, of course, if you hold the shift key while using the X and C key, you can see your ranged option. So this is the range of my Elf City Guard with their longbow. So this is what I can see, and the C key does the same for them. So this is what they can see. Currently nothing, because he can't actually engage anything right now. So I suppose what I can do to try and catch him, I'd obviously like to shoot him with the City Guard, but I'm not going to be able to this turn because it's too safe. So I'll just stand here and start reducing the swordsman numbers. So when you're shooting a target, I'll quickly explain what all of that was. Shooting things, so you take your number of attacks. Well, I've got 10 Elf City Guard here, and they're each armed with a longbow, so that's 10 shots. Hence why we roll 10 dice. And on the dice, it will tell you what you need to determine a hit roll. Well, you take the number 7 and you subtract your skill. So number 7, our skill is 4. So 7 minus 4 is 3, meaning we need a 3+ to hit. What does that mean? Well, any roll of a 3, 4, 5 or 6 on a 6-sided dice counts as a success, where it's a 1 or 2 fail. But you see, we were rolling a 4+, but I just said 3+. That was because the shot was greater than half the distance away. So if you're great, you suffer a -1 long range penalty. So our 3+ becomes a 4+. Any 4, 5s or 6s we roll succeed. Any 1s, 2s or 3s fail. So we rolled 1, 2, 3, 3, 6, 6, 2, 4, 4, 6. The 6, 6, 4, 4 and 6 succeed, and the 1s, 2s and 3s all fail. We got the exact average, 5 of 10 hits. The enemy then got to roll a save. So you compare the defense of the target against the power of the attacks. Longbow's a power 3, the enemy defense of the swordsman there is power defense 4. So better defense relative to the power attacking. It means they get to save on a 3+, or a 3, 4, 5, 6 succeed. It represents the defense being better. They have better than not odds of succeeding, but they still managed to roll a 1 or a 2. 2 swordsmen had arrows lodged straight into their eyes and promptly fell in battle. So I'd obviously love to start shooting those archers, but I can't actually target them because they haven't touched the woods yet. So I'm going to have to instead wait for them to poke through and target something else instead. I'm going to make sure I stay in cover though. So this little green area will reveal whether or not you're in cover. You can't quite get to short range yet, so we'll take a long range shot. The shields deflect all of them. They did very well there defending themselves. And I have you, of course. You'll do the same. You also push into cover here. Be careful not to get so close to my ally there. I can't position myself to actually stand here. I think that's okay. We would forfeit our shooting this turn, but it means I can shoot him next turn. That's okay. So he's going to pop round and shoot us. So he's going to get 1 volley off no matter what we do. So it's just a question of trying to do as much damage to him in the next turn as we can. We don't at all care about those. I think I might be able to cheekily squeeze a shot into their back while I have the chance. Yes, I can immediately start reducing their damage output, which is good. 4 hits from the City Guard. Now they're only defense 3 archers, so they only get a 4+ save because the power of the attack and the defense are equal. There's 2 less shots coming towards us as they failed to shoot us. For some reason the AI didn't target. I believe the AI likely are targeting this unit, and because they couldn't get into range, they couldn't take it, so they just chose not to take the easy shot that they could take on those. Now at this point I'm going to go ahead and use Divine Favour on my City Guard, because I think I can get them close enough to get to short range, so that will increase their shot. I'll explain that in a moment. But for now what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to run you forward to escape the charge radius of the swordsman. It also puts us into short range, so we're now here on 3+, which is great. Our full skill in effect here. Getting 5 hits, doing another 2 wounds, 6 archers left, and that just leaves the City Guard here. What I'd love to do is get into short range. I'm not actually fussed about being too close to the archers. They'll never declare a charge against you because the AI treats them as a dedicated ranged unit, which means it never uses them in close combat. So we get as close as we can. We now hit on a 2+. Why is that? Well, the Divine Favour spell I've had Callion cast on them increases the skill of the target by 1. It also lets you reroll discipline. Don't worry about that. We'll cover that if it comes up. So we're up to skill 5. So we take the number 7 and we subtract 5 is 2. So a 2+, or in other words, anything but a 1 on the roll of a 6-sided dice. So 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 will all succeed. So highly accurate. We rolled 8 hits and 2 1s, killing 6 of them, which is the unit to a man. Perfect. With this all-ranged build, you find it's extremely important that you target and eliminate the enemy range capacity first, because now that they're dead, we can effectively dance around these swordsmen to our content. They'll never be able to catch us, whereas enemy archers would be shooting at us constantly and doing damage. So what I'll do first is I'll get you out of the way, thereby ensuring that my Elf Mage here has enough space to withdraw. Or less swordsmen. And what I'll do is I could probably, yes, I can shoot them first. May as well use, you're better using Divine Favour on one of these two units because they get 10 shots as opposed to the archers which only get 9. So I'll save my last use of Divine Favour for next turn and instead just take a little shot here. And get to safety by doing this. We'll never ever allow the swordsman to catch us, so enjoy getting 29 arrows put into you every turn. No charges, thank you. No time to catch us. What I'll do, just in case I can't escape here because of the terrain is slowing me down, I'll put these city guard here into their back just to recharge them if necessary. So what I'll do is we'll have you come forward. I can't quite escape, so what I'll do instead is I'll turn around and do as much damage as possible, so if I have to engage them, I can't do a lot to stop me. Find favour on these city guard. There's only 5 swordsmen left. Done. And now that you've been buffed, you can come forward. Take a close range shot, 2+ to hit. 7-10, that's a lot of ones annoyingly, but there you go, we did so much damage that there's still technically a swordsman left. But the enemy army has sustained so much damage that they are routing this turn, so their morale is broken. At the end of this phase, they'll just give up and the battle's over. Fair enough, there's only one man left. You'd think after all of that, you see all the arrows in the ground, you'd probably think it's time to call it a day. So at the end of the battle, you get a flat sum of gold for winning. Everyone in your army gets 1 point of experience, and then you're given a choice. You can either rest units to put a few extra buys back, or you can loot for extra gold. I'm going to rest the archers because of the difficulty we're playing on. They start undermanned, so I'll have them back to full strength, and then the city guard are all full, so you might as well just take the gold. Excellent. There we have our extra archers. You can, if you wish, stretch units out like this, but with archers, they can fire all they want, no matter how many ranks they're packed backwards, so I'm happy to leave them in their tight little square there. It makes it easier to maneuver them around. Face a shambling host, so the undead. Excellent. Very slow moving, perfect targets for us to slaughter them. So at the start of the turn, we roll a dice, they roll a dice, whoever rolls high gets to go first. So I'll just spread out a bit. This is terrain, but I can ignore it. Right, so 2 very slow units of skeletons and zombies, and 1 far more threatening unit of direwolves. So because of its speed, I need to get on that and kill that as fast as possible. They've only got 1 wound each, however, so I'm hopeful that I can simply eliminate the whole unit before they can get to us. With all the shooting, it's basically guaranteed. They're cleverly moving other units before the wolves, so I have to take long range shots, but it's more than enough damage. I say that, I only get 2 hits with that unit, so I have to eliminate the last 2 with these archers. It's going to be a long range shot, so what I'll do is I'll use Divine Favour on myself. Now, I have the most archers in this unit, so it's worth using it. I'm not going to get into short range even if I rocket up there, but I might as well try. Yeah, no way, so just take your 3+. That's surely enough to finish them in 2 wounds. Yes. Great. That's the primary set eliminated. So your prioritization is enemy range things and enemy fast things. Once those 2 are dead, you've then just got these slow, pointless units that you can hammer away at your leisure. Again, we might as well do this now. Our Divine Favour, take a highly accurate close range shot, in which we roll 5 ones anyway, and then we get to safety. The undead in particular are going to struggle to catch us because all our elf units are swift, so they have +1 movement, whereas the undead units are reanimated, so they have -1 movement. So the starting baseline for troops is I believe 8. We have 9 because we're fast, and they have 7 because they're slow. It makes it very easy to dance around them in our clever elf ways. Our preternatural elven skill allows us to easily outwit the zombies. Not that we need particularly high skill to outwit the zombie. Not exactly the greatest thinkers in the world. And charges. So we can easily finish this unit this turn. And we'll start working over the skeletons. They're all dead. Excellent. Trying to menace my city guard. The escape. Just turn around and move a little bit. If I can't, I can come this way. So a quick trip. So with your turning, obviously cost you movement. It costs you exactly half of your movement to be around 180. So 4.5 and then it gets me to safety there, no problem. Sure, I need to be a little bit closer, so we can see the some of the green zone, the short range zone there is in range, but it still counts as long range. That's because I believe half of the enemy units has to be in the short range zone. So yeah, over half now it's 3+. You can just bear that in mind when you're gaming out whether or not it's a short range or long range shot. 8 brave skeleton warriors left. Well, as brave as the undead can be where they're not feeling anything. Change target over to my other unit. So we'll just dance back and forth. Yeah, they'll sustain enough casualties this turn to run away. There you go, routing this turn. I could just end the phase now, but I'd rather, as a completionist, let's go ahead and shoot that last skeleton to death. There we go. Perfect victory. 2 more points of experience. Some of our units have amassed enough experience to level now, so both of our Elf City Guard only need 2, so let's see what leveling up looks like. So whenever you level up, you get a choice of 3 things. The Spear Mastery allows us to fight in extra ranks with the spears. We're hardly ever going to be using these. The spears are more ornamental on these units for this campaign, so disregard that. It's a choice between Veteran Accuracy and Bow Mastery. Veteran Accuracy is really good, it's reroll 1s. Bow Mastery, for now, isn't great because it's just +5 range. It has an incidental benefit of also, as you increase the maximum range, of course, you increase the short range by an appropriate half amount, so 2.5 extra short range, which is good. I'm going to take the Bow Mastery, despite the fact that it's worse than Accuracy, because there's a tier, the second tier of Bow Mastery is remarkable, so much so that I'm willing to suck up and take the slightly worse option here and now. Then we have another unit here, exactly the same choice. We don't need replenishment, we're not taking casualties, so we'll just go with the extra range, which is convenient for, I guess we can outrange enemy archers more effectively, and it'll be very worthwhile later on. Everyone's truly maxed, so enjoy the gold, guys. We're perfectly healthy, so let's see what this random event is. A mercenary commander, you don't have any ranged capacity. You're a wyvern with an orc on top. That's not good at all. We're definitely going to have to leave that. Unfortunately, so we're not going to have quite as much gold for our first shop as we otherwise could have. Another unit of City Guard. Oh, the game knows exactly what we want. How lucky. There we go, and it's the discounted one, so perfect. More City Guards, thank you kindly. In terms of spells and upgrades, so you can buy a couple spells for Callion, or we can buy some upgrades for our units. Heavy armor isn't great because it slows you down, so the only things I'd really be concerned with are Banners of Swiftness, thereby improving my movement, or Banners of Mist, which make it so if I get shot, it's harder for the enemy to hit us. The Radiant Shield would also be nice, reroll saves, but I'm not really going to be getting into combat a lot, so it's not a burning priority, so instead, I think I'll just focus on these. I am 1 gold off being able to afford 3 of these, because it's 35, 35, 35, which would be 105. So I'm only going to be able to buy 2, and of those, I guess I would prefer the Banners of Mist on my City Guard, so just make them harder to shoot. Yeah, 34 gold, how irritating, because they're slightly more durable than my regular archers, so if I had to get shot with something, I suppose I would rather it be them. So they get better defense and they're harder to hit, so slightly more durable against enemy ranged output. But there you go, the theme is intact. Our truly dedicated ranged army is in play. Have another random event to see. Circle of Power, enter the circle. Oh look, we get Radiant Shield for free anyway. So reroll saves. I mean, we could take 1,000 Mals. It would allow our mage to start doing range damage of his own. It's very minor, 3d3 power 2. So I think I'd rather he be defensive and keep our guys alive in case we're going to get shot at. I can use someone as a tanking unit. We'll use our extra ranged might, flex our muscles a bit against the bandit gang. Okay, we're going first. They will have some sort of range capacity back. Given my range, I don't have to deploy all the way up here. I can kind of just take a kind of half step back a bit. Don't need to be too tight to the front. City Guard, City Guard. So I'm just going to have the City Guard be in front to make sure they're the primary target for shooting purposes. This is a Banner of Mist, and that's a Banner of Mist one, so I have it in front of that one. Because they do have range things we have to be concerned with. Disregard the big blocks of spearmen. This and this are far more intimidating. So they're going to come prancing towards us. I can't stop the light cavalry from shooting me. They're too fast. They're going to hit me. So the handgunners might not be able to reach. It depends how far forward they go. So I think if the greater priority here is shooting these. If they come forward, would I rather shoot them first and increase Divine Flavor to increase the damage, thereby reducing the numbers, or allow myself to reroll save when they hit me. I think their power, I can't quite tell, they're with power 4 with their pistol, so it's going to hurt. So I think I'd rather do damage than be a little more resilient. So increase our skill to get better shots. We now hit on 3+, even at long range. Good, excellent shots, and they haven't got great defense, so we immediately kill 2 of them. The cavalry have 2 wounds each, so 4 wounds there actually only kills 2, but a good start. They come. Yeah, they're immediately going to shoot us. I'd have to deploy like tucked in the corner or something to avoid it. They do take a couple of casualties, that's fine. Annoyingly, however, they are going to charge me if I don't do more damage to them, so everyone is going to be shooting them this turn. I might as well, it's already short range. Ah, here's a, so because of my extra range there, it counts as short range even though I'm quite far away. Excellent. 6 hits. I'm hopeful just to kill this unit before it even reaches me this turn. And then I guess I'll start running away. Yep, just to get away from those if I can. This unit, can I get over there to shoot them? No problem. This is the new unit, however, so it's going to be a long range shot. I'm just trying to position in such a way that I can get an angle on shooting them with this unit as well. In case they're still alive, doesn't seem to be likely. They're all dead. Excellent. So we're going to have to start dealing with the handgunners next. Can I thread the needle a bit here and shoot? Yes, I can. I can get to there and see them and shoot through there. Perfect. 4 less shots immediately. Good start. We're not at all concerned about the... It's going to take a while to shoot through them, but these 48 spearmen aren't ever really going to be a concern. I get to go first, which is good news, because I'd obviously love to start putting damage onto the handgunners. Again, I would rather buff my damage output and kill them before they get to hit me. Plus, I'm not going to go any further forward because they're going to come forward and catch me if I do, so we'll just take the long range shot. Still not bad at all. Killing another 2, we're halfway there. They're just in range of us, which is a shame. Yeah, they've got some high damage guns there, they can hurt me. You come around and shoot them as well. You can easily see them there. 2, 3, 4. 2 handgunners left. I intended to heal the archer unit anyway because it had already taken damage, so it's not that big a hassle. Can I get around them? I can get around them, but I can't get there to shoot the handgunner, so instead of what I said, I'll just shoot the spearmen. And then because I get to go first, so I'll shoot them with this unit first next turn and probably kill them before they can stop me. I think I would prefer to escape this way if I had a choice. Yep. And forward he comes. They didn't reach us, which is good news for me. And if you had... Can I... Well, I can't see past the woods is the problem, so I could try being a bit cheeky and see if I can catch a handgun. Maybe I can, standing there. Yes, I can. Oh, look at that. The Death Star shot. Dead. Perfect. No more ranged output. Things are going to get pretty grim for you now, Spearman. This might take a while though. So that one's already moved, so let's move this one first, because I know I can position this safely and not get caught by the enemy. Can I? Yeah, I can get to there and I can still turn and shoot. Perfect. Thunk, thunk. And now that that's moved, I know exactly where it is, so I can out-position it with everyone. I'm going to run them quite far up here because I want there to be enough space for my other guys to escape. Now where am I going to go with it? We can shoot immediately and then it might be a little bit difficult to wiggle out here. We'll probably just get to there easily enough. So the only thing that's getting them out, I might get stuck on my own guys. It's going to be a bit of a hassle, but I think we'll be okay. Maybe I'll run this way next turn. Good idea. Let's just type go in close and run like this. That works fine. And you of course can take another shot. So you can drag this one away indefinitely while I have all 3 these units slaughter this spearman. Shields can't help you when you're being shot from all angles simultaneously. He moves first, making it effortless. The other benefit now that having more units than the enemy means they're forced to move and you can just easily out-position them every turn over and over again. So they do exactly what you thought they would do. I'll have you here just in case I can't escape and I need to recharge them as an emergency measure. And I think we'll be fine because I can shoot and then just easily get out of the way. Here are 9 points of movement we can pretty effortlessly escape. And you can just come over here, turn and shoot them. That spearman unit's gone now. Enemy morale is holding together remarkably well considering all the damage they're taking. How many turns of having all your friends shot to death over and over again would you be able to withstand realistically? And it's just kind of, I don't want to get too close to that unit in case it turns this way, so I'm going to come this way instead. Yeah, like that. That's what I was concerned with. So if I was there, I might have been caught. But we're fine for now. Again, I'll have you stand behind. It doesn't do anything for damage output. It's not the facing of their shields or anything doesn't help them, but it's nice thematically, isn't it? And you, which way am I going to escape with you this turn? I should probably just go up here. Yeah, it's very easy, so I'll just do a little bit of damage here. And then rocket my way up there. That'll be you finish this turn, and they can move on to these. Use this thing at first now because it's definitely enough to kill it with these two. They're all gone. Start coming up here to shoot him next turn. Otherwise, yeah, everyone knows their jobs now. It's a bit very quickly. Hopefully you can do enough damage this turn to cause the enemy to reconsider their life choices and depart the field. 9 of 10 hits, not bad. 2 more wounds, just a little bit more to break them. 5 of them, great. Got them, just needed 1 more, and now they're routing this turn. 13 spearmen get to survive. As we are civilized, of course, we accept their surrender and let them go. So we lost it, we get 2 back, so we're still at 10, which is great. Nice sized unit. Callion is now leveled. Right, so extra gold, 5%, we don't really need the extra gold, we'll be generating a lot. Extra wounds on characters is very niche in its applicability. This is due to how they interact. So the only time their wounds would come up is if the entirety of their accompanying unit was dead, because the wounds of all the regular guys get burned through before you end up dealing with the stats of the character. So either everyone would have to be dead, or if you entered a duel with an enemy character, so if 2 regiments with characters got locked in combat, they would enter a one-on-one battle. But why would we ever want to put a mage in a one-on-one fight? So there's almost no instance in which that would be useful for us. So we're going to go with Recruiter. Newly recruited units gain an additional level. SOVL, in general, massively rewards experience. The increase in power you get from leveling up is immense, so that's a great upgrade for a commander. And his accompanying archers have leveled up. You can have more of them, which is a good choice for me because I'm about to heal them and I'm not going to get a lot of value out of it. So, yep, we'll have some more archers. Because you get 3 to 4 and only have 2 slots left. So, yep, 3, 13's not bad. And gold for everyone else. Very good. Yeah, so I have a healthy unit of archers there. Take on the next little battle against an elf patrol. This is going to be tough. So ordinarily the elf patrol is actually quite easy to deal with because it's 3 very fast units, but there's only 3. We're not going to be able to kill them quickly enough to get through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pack my guys on one side with the hope that I can just do a load of damage and burn through them as fast as possible while these ones drag themselves over to me. So unfortunately they put the 2 units over here. Would have been better if I was over there, because I could kill the chariot and then just run away. What I'll do is I'll have you run over here, start killing the chariot. 1 of them so far. Right, this is what's going to happen. He's going to come forward and shoot us. I can't stop it. Yeah. Oh, good armor saves though, I take it all. What I could do if I'm clever is I could do a load of damage shooting. So how are you going to get through? I don't think you can actually fit there. You've blocked yourself, so you're probably going to come around here. So if I just shoot and move around this way, I might be able to get away with it. I can't reach short range realistically, so I'll just take the long range shot. Good start, 8 hits. 5 wounds from the first volley, that's perfect. And retreat to this direction. No, they could actually wiggle their way through the corner there, you've got me. Okay, fair enough. So their radius stops there. Can I move far enough to get past the heavy cav? I can. Right, so I'm going to be brave, and I'm going to presume. Let's use Divine Favour right now. Increase my damage output. I think I can blast this unit down, so I don't have to worry about it. 10 hits is pretty good. As long as they don't spike a load of really aggressive saves, I should be able to kill my way through them. Okay, I'm going to manage this. And you get to safety here. So I'm within radius of the Reavers, of course, but not the Lancers. And I suspect the Reavers will be gone. So skip there. And then you kill the last one. 6 hits is good enough. 4 is dead. Okay. And now you're just going to have to also withdraw. You can't go straight backwards, so maybe come this way. Doesn't give you a lot of wiggle room for future turns, I'm afraid. You can escape here, but you're completely helpless next turn, so let's instead come this way. Buys us a lot more time in terms of escape. Good. So next time we'll kill this, at which point it's just the Lancers, who are very fast, but I think the AI is silly enough that it'll allow me to outposition it. Chariot, so again, I can just run straight past its range like that. I assume I'm still in range to shoot it. Oh, okay. There you go, I can definitely still shoot it. Good. Dead. Wow, it took 5 wounds and would have died instantly that turn. Okay, you've locked onto this unit, which is fine because I can still get away there. Perfect. I think I have to be quite. I'd have to turn to at least here to shoot them. 8.1, and then 8.1 isn't enough for me to escape. So I might have to forego my shooting this turn. I'll see. Let's do the other units first and think about it. Yeah, they're tough, but they're just going to get worn down by the number of shots I can throw at them. One down, very good. Right now here, do I risk twisting to get my shot? I think I do. I think I can manage it. Divine Favour for max damage. 2+. 9 hits. Another 2 wounds. Okay, and then if I go straight for it... Oh, I do make it. There you go, 8.1 is fine. Okay, we've got them. So just that initial turn scared me because they had fast units, but they couldn't quite get to me in time. Targeting my allies now. It's easy to stop. I think it's going to be pretty much finished at the end of this turn. Another volley. Say they would fight in the shade, but they're all dead. And yeah, they're out in this turn. There's a single Lancer left. See if I can kill him purely out of spite. How dare you engage us in civil war? We are the true elves. Elves are meant to use bows and arrows, not run around on ponies. Perfect victory. A little bit lucky with the Reavers not doing any damage, but a little luck goes a long way. So our new unit of City Guard have levelled. They can take unit size. Spin, which is pointless or extra gold. I'll take the unit size. And I'll immediately put them up to max size of 13, which is perfect. 13 of 15 is fine for the archers. It's more potent, so I'd rather take a little bit of extra cash. We're not exactly generating a huge amount, so I'd like a bit more before we get to the last shop. Yep, some nice big blocks of archers, very pretty. To help us face an elite battle against Korgak. Yeah. Uncivilized orcs and their penchant for melee combat, so there'll be something fast over there, I would presume, so maybe we'll just deploy over here and shoot it to death at our leisure. Don't think they have any real shooting. I assume they wouldn't. Yeah, okay, so we have a giant to deal with. That's going to be a hassle with its high defense and bull riders. The units of infantry we can almost completely disregard. He's going to start stomping towards us, so at this point I may as well just immediately start shooting it. That's not much else to do. This is going to take a very long time because it saves on 2+, so when the defense of the target is 3 or more greater than the enemy's power, so we're only power 3, that means their save improves again all the way from a 3+ to a 2+, meaning only a result of a 1 succeeding a wound. So they're pretty tough. He doesn't reach us this turn because it's pretty far, so I guess I'll just have you come up here and start getting around him. They're going to come forward but not quite catch you yet, so I think you're okay. The quicker we work through his wounds, the better. There's another one. Good, they've rocketed towards us, which is what I was hoping they'd do. So I'll have you two this one as hard as you can. Can I get close enough to short range? Surely I can. Yes, I can. Perfect. Ball Rider down. These units I don't care about at all. You'll take your short range shot and sort of wiggle to safety. Another one down. Oh, this giant is... Oh no, I didn't move. Okay, there's a solution for this though. This isn't actually the end of the world. It's a good time to illustrate. So I don't have any charges. They're going to charge me, in which case my response is to flee. I have no point engaging in combat, so I'm just going to move them away. In which case this will happen. Forward he comes. Forward he comes. I'm just going to rally this first because I'm going to have to. I rolled a double 6, which is tragic because I was almost guaranteed to rally, but never mind. I'm now free to... I'm going to have to engage this Ball Rider in combat to save my poor city guard, but that's okay. I'll get you over here. Out of radius of those, and I think it's a rear charge. Yes, if I wanted it, I could rear charge that unit. Here comes their annoying big blocks. Again, just continue to try hammering damage into the giant. Try and favour ourselves for damage output. Hitting on 2+. Slowly but surely. We're just hoping they roll a bunch of 1s in one go. We're halfway there. I don't really want to back myself into a corner, but I'm running out of options, really. And you will do the same. 2 more 1s. 2 more. We'll get it next turn. Right, where can I escape effectively? Not this way. I think I could just stand right there, couldn't I? Yeah, in between the two. That works. Now, because this unit didn't rally, when the boars charge it again, I'm not going to be able to flee. So the only respite I can offer them is intercepting them. So one of the benefits of either flank charging or rear charging enemies is it counts as an intercept. So any charges the enemy are attempting to perform are cancelled. They can't move when I'm busy killing them by hitting them in the back. And we are a hybrid melee ranged unit, so this is viable, despite how weird it is. Try and rally these. They do rally this time. Which is just in time because they've got a rather intimidating unit of war chiefs hanging up behind them. But I would love to kill you this turn, and you're the most likely unit to do it with your Divine Favour. There's no point in Divine Favouring over here because we already have better skill than them, so we use it right now. Try and go for the coup de grace. 10 hits, just roll 2 1s. 1-1. Okay, I'll have to use you as well. They're going to inch forward, which just makes it easy for me to shoot them and then get out of the way. Gotcha. If I used that unit first, they would have managed it. Fair enough. And then we'll come up here with the intention of escaping in this direction. Right, let's see if I can defeat the Ball Riders. So, melee combat, I don't think we had any yet, so I'll quickly explain this. When you're fighting in melee, well, you get you a number of attacks first. So, we have 10 city guard, they have 1 attack each, so 10 attacks. Now, to determine the hit roll, unlike shooting, it isn't 7 minus the number, rather it's you compare the skill of the 2 combatants against one another. So, we're skill 4, highly skilled elves, against skill 3, not so skilled Ball Riders, orcs riding pigs. So, we have better skill than them, meaning we hit on the 3+. So, 3, 4, 5, or 6 will succeed. Better than not odds of succeeding, it represents us having better skill than the enemy. So, 10 attacks, needing a 3, 4, 5, or 6 on each. I get 8 hits, which is fantastic. And okay, and then it will be power 3 against defense 5, so they'd have a better defense, so 3 up. A good save, but they rolled terribly. They rolled only half, so they took exactly 4 wounds, and they all died. I had 4 wounds only, so perfect outcome for us. You're trying to catch my unit over here, so I can easily shoot. Start reducing the number of these brutes, they're heavy infantry, and move to safety. Start turning around for the next shot next turn. You're coming over here to catch all of these guys, that's annoying. I'm going to have you come over here. Short range shoot the big unit of Orc Warriors. Now, despite the brutes having more defense, mathematically it's actually the same, because we're only power 3, so defense 4, defense 5. It's greater than, but not 3 or more greater than, so they're just going to save them a 3+ regardless. And then you are kind of out of luck when it comes to standing somewhere. I guess this will have to do. If they move forward, you can escape. If not, you're actually stuck there next turn. We'll have to flee again. Turn to face me. Interesting. Okay, to make sure we're safe, what I'll do is I'll put this unit into their back. So if they're still alive, I can just charge them in the backside and kill them. Okay, so they've opted to go that way. I think I'll put all the damage into this unit this turn. Killing off whole units is usually a good idea because it makes it much easier to outposition the enemy if they've only got a single unit that can move effectively. think they're dead. Very good. Even the character died because of all the extra wounds. Just this lonely little unit of orc warriors left. I was about to realise that sheer strength of elven superiority. Very elf-like tactics, isn't it? Dance around, shoot them from safety. Enemy never had a chance. You're still after that unit. Rather persistent of you, how brave. 1, 2, 3. I suspect they'll take enough damage to die this turn. Yeah, they're already dead. I'm not going to be able to kill them all, so I'll just... Well, there's only 7. Let's see what this does. If I get a miraculous roll, maybe I'll try and go for the execution. I'm going to take a couple of seconds and see if you can finish them. How many orc warriors will be left, do you think? 2. The correct answer was 2. Well done if anyone guessed that. 1 to tell the tale, and 1 so people will believe him when he tells them. Okay, a couple more units, so the city guard is leveled again, which is excellent. And we got our second tier. So, the second tier of Elf Bow Mastery. Damage saves against units' ranged attacks are reduced by 1. So the only real weakness of the longbows, they have amazing range, they're power 3, but they're low power. They're power 3, which isn't great, so they struggle to wound things. Bow Mastery 2 means that whenever you shoot at something, whatever it should be saving on, reduce it by 1. So that giant, for instance, it was saving on 2+. If we had Elven Bow Mastery, it would instead only be saving on 3+. We'd worsen its save. The armoured guy saving on 3+, I reduced to 4+, and so on and so forth. So a serious, amazing damage increase there. Just be able to hack through things. Our only weakness is the elite stuff that's quite tough, so being able to just counter them like that is great. Didn't get it on this one, which is okay. I'll just go with the unit size instead. So yeah, we'll immediately make them 13 as well. Now they're matched, they're a matching pair, great. Everyone else will take gold because we're just about to head into our next shop, which is well timed. Here are our units. We have a choice of a ranged unit, which is nice. I could take the Elf Mage. Unfortunately, it comes accompanied with a chariot, which is not great. The Watchers, we're going to have to take them because they're ranged and it's in the spirit of things. They're really not great from a ranged output stance, I'm afraid. They kind of struggle a bit, but it's in the army's theme, so we immediately give a level, which is cool. And yes, they'll eventually get up here, but I think I would prefer to actually take the unit size. They won't be able to benefit from it immediately, but only having 5 is just not enough to be useful in terms of damage output. So 120 left over. Again, banners of mists and banners of swiftness are our priority. We have some fancy combat banners, so +1 attack or banner of valor, whatever have you. All great, but not useful for us. So buying a fireball for Callion is great. He can participate in the ranged battle. So 20, leaving me with around 25, so I'll get 95 left. Should be enough for 2 banners. So banner of mist, and that is the only one. And a banner of I have a choice between either mist or swiftness. I'm not really struggling for movement, I'll be honest. That's not too much of a hassle, so I think I'll go fireball. 95, 95, and then, oh, there's another banner of swiftness up there. No, that was the first one I saw, so we'll have a banner of mist here and a banner of mist. Okay, that's how I'll do it. So, banner of mists for everyone, and then we'll pick up the swiftness ones later. So I think taking less damage from range is more important to me than... I think everyone is now? Almost everyone, so... Okay, everyone except the unit that the Elf Mage is in, but everyone else is slightly more resilient to range damage, so... We're the ranged army, not you. You're not meant to be shooting us, we're meant to be shooting you. So we have one last random event before we go into final boss. Magical artifact. Soldiers who found an artifact make use of its power or sell it. One of Discord. Enemies reroll discipline checks. So that's obviously quite useful if we were engaging in melee. Discipline checks haven't really come up yet because they happen when a fight occurs in close combat and someone loses and is not dead. So we only had one, which the enemy died. If they survived, what would happen is they'd have to roll a discipline check. So they would take whatever your discipline stat is and subtract how much you lost by, which is how many wounds you took, plus if you were flanked or anything. We're not really going to see that come up in this run because we're just going to be shooting everything. So 350 gold, great. I wish those two were swapped around, then I would have had 150 gold for the shop, but never mind, beggars choosers. We're perfectly happy as we are. We'll face the Act 1 boss against Drazgog, so yet more silly orcs. Target practice, we call them. Nice big map, which is advantageous for us because we get a lot of space to shoot things. We'll go nice and far back and spread out a bit so one unit can't just catch both of us. The Watchers have the ability to deploy forward, so everyone else is stuck at the 25%. They can go up to 50. Why on earth you would ever do that, I don't know. It's a recipe for disaster. So I'll just be nice and far back here, like so. Then we have no shooting whatsoever, so again, it's really just the fast things first, so chariot and giant, and then these silly blocks. I may as well just start damaging them now. Can they reach me this turn? They might actually bound over here and catch me in a single turn. So what I'll do is I'll start shooting other things first to reduce their numbers. I'll let them come to me, and then I can get some close range shots and kill them more effectively. So yeah, that's bow mastery kicking in, so 4 up, so they roll terribly, but it's going to be much easier for me to kill these highly armed targets. So they did reach me the turn, very impressive. So just stand here. I could use divine favor, or I could chuck a fireball. I think I'll save the fireball for the giant because it's a lot tougher. So instead I'll take I could divine favor something instead. That seems reasonable. Yeah, yourself. Maybe that one because it's got the longer shot, so I think I can get it into short range. You could take your long range shot. Doing 3 wounds immediately, not bad. And we're perfectly safe, so leave yourself there. Here comes the giant, we'll start shooting you next turn. Your wounds are so low, I'm actually tempted to try killing you with the watchers. It's going to be long range, and it's going to be hard. 2 wounds, unless you fail both? No, 1, okay. That's a shame, I'm going to have to end up wasting another unit on the chariot rather than just putting all the damage into the giant. Well, I don't have to, I guess I do have to, because I can't actually get around there to shoot the giant effectively. I can get to there and clip it. I can take a 3+ shot. I mean, yeah, I can just use the watchers to scrape off the last one next turn. So for damage efficiency, I think I'm better off shooting the giant now. This one unfortunately doesn't have bow mastery, so it's still 2s. Everyone else is safe. You just come forward. I guess it's worth coming forward because they're not going to catch us, and couldn't quite get a short range shot yet, but it means when they try catching us, I'll have more turns to fall back and shoot them. Don't care at all about any of that stuff. So that'll be dead, and we'll start working that over. Absolutely not. Why would we ever charge anything? Me first? Well, I can't use this first because then the giant will come forward and trap me. So what I'll do is I'll use stuff over here as a priority. Let's go ahead and hit the brutes, because the faster you kill whole units, the less initiative the AI has. Yep, so that 3 would have been a save, but not for our bow mastery. Good. Let's just pass. They can't shoot me, so I might as well just pass turns and see what they do. So you've moved to there. Can I squeak my way past you this way? I can. Excellent. So what I'll do is I'll take my short range shot. Hopefully you can do a single wound. You can. Perfect. Excellent damage allotment here. And start. No, I have to be more specific with it. I think I have to go straight to the direction. There you go. So I can easily get to safety. Or if I hug the giant a bit more. No, 8.3 doesn't work, so 8.2 it is. There, and then we can easily escape that way next turn. Forward you come, that's great. Let's start killing you over. So let's throw a fireball's power 5, so it at least means the giant won't be saving them quite so good. It still saves everything. I will surely shoot you to death. Not this turn though, with that volley. Just kind of get out of the way. These units don't bother me at all. Come forward here. I'm going to have you shoot this and then start directing yourself over here because, wow, 111. Good roll. Face that way to make sure you aren't caught by that unit. Don't think they'll quite catch you. You're obviously in a position just to kill that. Dead to a man. Perfect. Get out of charge range. Yeah, he won't catch us there. We're good. So you're dead next turn and we'll start working over these units. No, we won't be charging anything. I now have to go first because they have so few units I'm compelled to, so yeah, the brutes are next. And they can probably move far enough forward to catch me here, so I'll just scooch back a bit. Giant has moved. It's moved that way, which is a tad annoying. I mean, you might as well try and hit it. 5 of 5 hits, not bad. And you do a wound. Hey, well done, watchers. And that, by some horrid miracle, if I need to charge it, I can. You haven't reached us here, which is good news for me. I know exactly where you've positioned, so just chuck another fireball. 4 hits. Don't roll 3s every time. Dead to the fireball. Excellent. That leaves me free to move over here. Start gunning you down. Let's all warriors. Now that I know where you've moved, I can shoot. I think I would prefer to kill those first. And I zip through there. Not really. So you want to come that way. in this case it's kind of hard to shoot them and still get to safety, so we'll just take an amazing shot. Oh, they're only goblin mobs. They're even more fragile. Ouch. I'll have you come this way. There you go, we're safe. We are not safe. They've come over here to... Oh, no, they didn't reach. That was silly. So the benefit of terrain. So they didn't... Because they didn't reach the terrain, on the other side of it, you could see into it, but you can't see beyond it. So if you look at this, this is their charge radius. They can see into the terrain, but they can't actually see us to charge us. So what you can see here, they were about a millimetre off touching. If they touched it, they would be able to see and catch me. But no, they completely flubbed it. You're now just shot fodder. Way to go, guys. Charges, that's a funny joke. Well done, game. Ha 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 ha. Okay, you're still after us. I can just turn. When you're doing this shoot and scoot strategy of kind of shooting away, move the minimum distance you can to get out of the enemy range. The reason you want to do that is because the AI isn't smart enough to next turn. If it was the correct human move would be putting the unit right here, so close in fact I couldn't wheel to escape, so I'd be trapped and I'd have to fight them. They'll just inch forward enough to catch me, in which case I can just inch backwards. Whereas if you moved all the way back, they would correspondingly move all the way there to catch you, and you'd have nowhere to go. So you can buy yourself a lot of extra turns by just shimming around like this. We'll take a long range shot to force that to move, so I know where everyone can get to safety. Good, I know where they've landed now. You can get to there and probably... Yeah, you can still shoot the goblins, good. 2, 3. Goblins make for slightly harder targets because they're small, but no problem for our elves. Out to safety, and then you up here. You may as well divine favour yourself for the extra accuracy. 2+ to hit. 13 of 13 hits, devastating. Oh, that's the unit with the war chief. Somehow I don't think that's going to go well for you. See the slightly bigger orc. Do you think our elves even noticed between all the endless volleys and barrages? Oh, they did do that. They tried, but they weren't quite smart enough to... The AI isn't quite competent enough to actually catch me. So we'll just shoot. Shooting them first is a good idea, because if they lose anyone, it gets even easier to get around them. Not bad, AI. You almost had me. By almost, I mean not at all. No. You made an attempt. Okay, his one friend's dead, so just our lonely Drasgog now. I know everyone's landed, so shoot freely. More wounds. Look, someone's going to have to shoot Drasgog, so let's see if I can kill him with the standard unit. 4.5, which is exactly half my movement, so I know I can twist around precisely like that and be safe. 3+, 8 hits. He's pretty tough. He takes 2 wounds. He's still alive on 1. Well done. So what I'll do is I can probably just finish them with the those archers next turn, so instead I'll start coming over. I'll ignore him and go shoot the goblins. Cool. Don't really need the reroll saves for anything. I guess 1,000 mouths would have, in general, maybe been slightly better for damage output, but I think the radiant shield will be useful later on when I have to get shot by things. There'll be more enemy units to face later, and they'll be, of course, more numerous in their ranged output, so we're going to have to take some shooting eventually. 2 of those left. If you can just pick off the character for me, you know, assassinate him like you did the other units. Nope, too tough. It's because the shield was facing him, of course. Okay, well, of these damage, I guess I would prefer you kill him. Oh yeah, he did 8 wounds. And he's got 1 left. Slight overkill. Away from the goblins now. To there. Might not be able to escape them in combat actually, so instead what I'll have to do is I'll have to shoot them and move up here. If I reduce the unit size by enough, it'll get pretty easy to... Yeah, now you can just scooch by them. You can just come over there and finish them. Leaving, again, 2 orc brutes. Oh, same as last time. We've got a bit of consistent here. We'll always leave at least 2 guys alive. Yep, perfect victory. So with the exception of, I think, 1 or 2 casualties from shooting, we've basically made it through Act 1 with sustaining no damage, which is perfect for a ranged army. So more levels, Callion leveled again. irritatingly got the wrong one. So I was hoping for there's a better, so you can upgrade your spells with these levels here. So we have Fireball, Divine Favor, Radiant Shield. Getting an extra charge on a spell I'm not really using is great. Other two would have been better. So instead I'm just going to go with Recruiter 2. So I buy a unit and it instantly comes out at 2 extra levels, which is good. And his accompanying archers leveled. I don't really need the extra gold, so I'll take the reroll ones. So any ones they roll when they're shooting things, if you roll a 1, you get to roll it again to try and convert it into a hit. So some damage increase. 13 is still fine for them. If they take any damage, then I can heal them to 4, but that's okay. I will heal these because that's just dreadful. I get the max size, fantastic. Everyone else takes their gold. Act 2. So I think we'll leave that there. Thank you very much. That was a very successful Act 1. I'm very happy with it. Callion's doing his proud. No real. I think I got charged once, but it never really happened. Don't worry about it. So if I can maintain the all archer theme, I will. Any units I come across in a shop, I'll buy them. If I come across an armory that has no ranged units, I might have to make a difficult decision and not purchase any. But we'll see what we come up against. We'll just kind of balance it out. So thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. If so, please do like and subscribe. It does help out the channel and I really appreciate it. If you have any notes on the run, anything you'd like to see, or any kind of ideas for max difficulty campaign SOVL runs that you'd like to see, any particular characters or armies, by all means, please do let me know. I'm happy to take feedback on board. I take the time to stop and read all the comments, so if you leave anything down, it'll definitely be seen. Or if you just want to chat with me and others, that's great too. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.